Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pharma Monitor, our monthly activity where we discuss a topic of interest for the industry. This month, let's deliberate on the possible reasons for the unit growth that the market is seeing for the past few quarters. Uh, when we look at the growth drivers for the market, we see it is the price and the new introductions which are driving the growth for the market. The volumes have usually not performed well in the IPM. Now, what could be the possible reasons for this? I have a few identified, there could be many more. But let's begin with looking at the consumption patterns. Now, over the years, we see the consumption patterns for chronic therapies for most of the therapy areas have increased. Uh, I have taken Feb 2020 as the base measure to look at the consumption patterns. Uh, However, when the consumptions have increased, this means the disease prevalence is still the same. The patient population has not declined drastically. Then what are the reasons that we see this decline in the unit performance for the therapy areas? Let's deliberate on each of them. Uh, we'll begin with the first reason, the first possible reason, which is the treatment advantage. Now, taking an example of the anti-diabetic therapy area, in the traditional anti-diabetic therapy, we used to see molecules which required twice or thrice in a day dosing to maintain the blood glucose levels of the patient. With the new age molecules entering the market, the flozins or the gliptins of the market, when they have of the world, when they have entered the market, they have reduced the number of pills required by the patient to maintain the same blood glucose levels, which is why we see the consumptions going up for the molecule for these therapy or for these combinations. However, the unit performance for the therapy may not have gone up because the number of units sold now has come down. One more reason could be the combination. Continuing with the same example of anti-diabetic. Usually a prescription for anti-diabetic when a patient goes to see a doctor has at least 7 to 8 molecules. There would be a few molecules to keep the blood glucose levels in check. Since we know diabetes and cardiology coexist, so to ensure that the patient has got a good cardiovascular health, the doctor would also prescribe some molecules for that. There would be some molecules for maintaining the general health of the patient. So a few multivitamins would be prescribed. End of the day, the patient is expected to take at least 7 to 8 tablets per day to maintain a good, healthy life. Now, this is a hassle for the patient. Taking 7 or 8 tablets every day can be cumbersome. Over the years, the companies have realized this, and in their efforts to support the HCPs in having better patient care, companies have come up with combination therapies now. So we see there is an increase in the combination therapies in the market, which is where we again, because we're combining the molecules, and from where the patient was expected to take 2 tablets, now the patient is taking only 1 tablet for the same efficacy or the same benefits. Here again would be one of the reasons why we see there is a unit decline in the market, especially for the chronic therapy areas. Another possible reason could be the packing adaptation. Now, over the years, cardiology, diabetes, or the pain and analgesic segment, which also caters to drugs which are meant for rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis, osteoporosis. These have had challenges in ensuring that the patients adhere to the therapy. Most of the times, not all, but then patients would buy only 1 strip instead of the 3 strips that are required for filling up the prescription of the month. Price could be a reason, affordability could be also be a reason, which is why the patient would buy only 1 strip. Now, if the traditional packs were of only tens, the patient would buy 1 strip, which means the patient is buying therapy only for 10 days. The next 20 days, the patient may or may not consume the medicine. So the companies have also tried to adapt and bring in solution to these problems. Companies have brought in compliance packs of 15, packs of 20, 30. Now, why these packs help? If the patient still, with the same problem of affordability is buying only 1 strip. Now the patient from taking medicine only for 10 days has moved to taking medicines for 15 days because the pack now has 15 tablets. This is also a reason why we see a unit decline. In the past, when one prescription needed a refill with 3 strips. Now the same prescription needs a refill with only 2 strips or 1 strip if the pack is of 30, which is another reason why we see a unit decline in the market. One more reason could be the rise of online pharmacies and also the Jan Aushadhi and the Dawa stores where the patients go and buy the medicine from. If the patient is having a prescription of long-term therapy, a cardiovascular disease prescription, or a diabetes prescription. Now, these prescriptions are supposed to be taken for a lifetime. The patient has to, in a general scenario, if the online pharmacies did not exist, the patient would generally walk to the brick and mortar retailer near his living place and buy the medicines. In today's lifestyle where people are generally, having more hectic life schedules, this is a hassle. Online pharmacies have brought in an advantage of doorstep delivery, attractive discounts, and also the perks of pop-ups. These pop-ups remind them that they need to refill their prescriptions. These pop-ups remind them that they need to get their next health checkup done. So these are the frills that the online pharmacies generally give to the patient. And of course, the added advantage of discounts that they get. So there is a change in the route of distribution that these therapy areas are seeing. So if I drill a little down within the cardiovascular therapy, we see there is a shift in the channels of distribution for antihypertensive drugs that are required for maintaining the blood pressure. We see there is a shift in the channels of distribution for anti-anginals where the patients can buy their medicine online. However, we don't see that happening with pure cardiology molecules like rivaroxaban or apixaban, fondaparinux. These molecules are still purchased from the retailers. One more reason could be the biosimilar molecules gaining momentum in the market. We see a slow and gradual shift happening towards biosimilars in the market. Now, I have divided the entire market into molecules that are biosimilars currently and molecules which are not biosimilars currently. We see it is the molecules which are not biosimilars which see a decline or a degrowth. It is biosimilars are actually showing a unit growth. However, they are not able to impact the overall growth for the market because the quantum of business that we see under the biosimilars or the size of the biosimilar market today is comparatively very less. Over the next few years, once we see this progression happening, we will see the unit performance driven by the biosimilars gaining momentum. A few examples again for this therapies like blood related, where we see the biosimilars are doing better as compared to the molecules which are not biosimilars. The same example also holds true for antineoplastics or the gynecologicals. So this is also one of the reasons why the market is seeing a unit degrowth, because biosimilars are not only more cost effective, they are also cost effective in terms of development, but also more efficacious. So the patient requires less number of tablets to be consumed for maintaining the same health levels. So to summarize, it is a shift that we see from the traditional molecules to the new age molecules with OD dosing. We also see a combination of molecules being more prevalently prescribed to decrease the pill burden for the patient, which is why there is a decline in the number of units sold in the market. Online pharmacies are gaining popularity, especially in the chronic segment where the patient needs to have this molecule or this drug for the lifetime. And there is a gradual shift that we also see towards the biosimilars. These could be the possible reasons why the market is seeing a unit decline when there is no the patient population is still the same and the disease prevalence is still the same. It is a simple reason that the way the molecules or the drugs were being sold in the past, they have changed. I hope this analysis was helpful to all of you. Do join us next month as well. We will pick up another topic of your interest. In case you have some suggestions for us, please feel free to drop us a message. Thank you for joining us today morning. Have a lovely day ahead.